When most people speak on why nofap works, they always tend to bring up the rewiring of the dopamine levels. While this is true, and there is a link in the description below of a video of me discussing that, I'd like to bring up a lesser talked about phenomenon. I'd like to talk about a special power that nofap gives you. And this power is agreed upon among the top psychologists and influencers in the world as the most powerful force a human being can be driven by. This power that I'm speaking of is the application of sex transmutation. Sexual transmutation is simply the changing or transferring of sexual energy into other forms of expression instead of just physical expression. Napoleon Hill, the author of the self-help Bible, Think and Grow Rich, put it this way: sex desire is the most powerful of human desires. When driven by this desire, men develop a keenness of imagination, courage, willpower, persistence, and creative ability unknown to them at other times. When harnessed and redirected along other lines, this motivating force may be used for powerful creative forces in literature, art, or any other profession or calling. Fortunate indeed is the person who discovered how to give sex emotion an outlet through some other form of creative effort, for he has, by that discovery, lifted himself to the status of a genius. He then goes on to say that men with the greatest achievements are men with highly developed sex natures, men who have learned the art of sex transmutation. In fact, some of the most influential people and athletes have been on record vouching for the importance of not wasting our sexual energy. Muhammad Ali's Olympic boxing coach, Harry Wiley, stated, "There's a kid named Cassius Clay. If you bet on him every time he fights, you'll be a very rich man." I believe this thing is sexual control. Any kid who can control his sex can win the title. I believe it. Kanye West has been on record saying, "People ask me a lot about my drive. I think it comes from like having a sexual addiction at a really young age," he says. Look at the drive that people have to get sex, to dress like this, get a haircut, and be in the club in the freezing cold at 3 a.m. The places they go to pick up a girl. If you can focus that energy into something valuable, put it into work ethic. David Haye, world heavyweight boxing champion, said, "I don't ejaculate for 6 weeks before the fight. No sex, no masturbation, no nothing. It releases too much tension. It releases a lot of minerals and nutrients that your body needs, and it releases them cheaply."
I always like the feeling of getting into the ring hungry. You know, getting into, I told you I don't ejaculate before a fight, and I don't eat too much food, so I'm like a hungry, horny tiger.
To understand why some of the most powerful and influential people on the planet attribute a large part of their success to sexual transmutation, we have to understand the evolutionary science behind nofap. So, what is your DNA's number one job? Our DNA's number one job is to reproduce and pass on our genetics. So, when we start to masturbate on a regular basis, we trick our brains into believing that we have spread our seed with multiple women. Our brain actually thinks that we have a harem of women just lined up for us. So why would we go out and make things happen? Why would we hit the gym? Why would we start a business? And why in the world would we try to improve our social skills? Because whenever our brain is presented with the idea of improving, it just laughs it off. Your brain says, "Dude, we just did the impossible. We just had sex with several beautiful women at once. We did our job. Dude, go out and relax. You deserve it." However, when we remove the option of PMO, our brain starts to go in a panic attack. Because as Sigmund Freud, one of the most influential psychiatrists, put it, humans' motivation and drive stems from the motivation to have sex and reproduce. So, when we stop PMOing, your brain starts to provide you with the tools to have the highest chance possible to start attracting the opposite sex to reproduce. This is where the quote-unquote superpowers come in. The confidence, the motivation, the drive to make money, the burning desire to leave your mark on this world. All of these benefits stem from your brain, giving you the highest chance to reproduce. Thank you guys for watching the video. And if this video gave you any value, please leave a like and subscribe to see more videos like this. With that said, I'll see you high status men on the next one.